I've never had a boyfriend in my whole entire life, and I feel like I'm getting a bit old now. Like 22, I never had a boyfriend. Oh, that's a bit old though. That is a bit old. It's giving pension. So I signed up to this speed dating thing, like I think 3 weeks before my exam. Like I had no business going on a bunch of dates, no business putting on my makeup and going out and being like, oh, let me get ready to meet some boys. Like, so like people go to uni and they like meet the love of their life, they like get a boyfriend. How many films out there are there that have that narrative? It is a load of rubbish. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Do not expect that to like actually happen. I cannot even begin to emphasize the fact that boys at uni are not serious. Do not kid yourself. If you're going from year 12, year 13 to uni, the boys are the same. The boys are literally the same. There's no difference. I feel like this video has turned into like a dating apps video, but I have tried Tinder. Do not recommend that app. Do you know what? They can be so addictive. I'm not gonna lie, they're so addictive. It has highs and lows. I think that's what makes it addictive. When I think back to when I was on the apps, like what did I gain? Like literally nothing. Like hello and welcome back to another video of me just complaining about things that no one tells you about uni. Today I wanted to talk about why you should not expect to come to uni and have a boyfriend, or just do not come to uni expecting to have a really good dating life, or the dating life that you envision. I don't even know where to start with this topic, but I feel like if you're someone who from sixth form, from college, from school, you've watched films about how people like in America, obviously they go to college, which is uni. So like people go to uni and they like meet the love of their life, they like get a boyfriend, or like they at least like date around and they have a substantial or solid relationship at uni. Like how many films out there are there that have that narrative? It is a load of rubbish. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It is just not true. It will be true for some people. It's worth having that disclaimer. It's true for a lot of people that they can come to uni and meet someone amazing and have a really good relationship, but like do not expect that to like actually happen. I cannot even begin to emphasize the fact that boys at uni are not serious. Like do not kid yourself. If you're going from year 12, year 13 to uni, the boys are the same. The boys are literally the same. There's no difference. Okay, yes, they are a year older. Yes, they might have had like a summer holiday. They might have done a gap year. Just literally think about the boys that you would have interacted with in sixth form and stuff. Like it's the same people. Not only in friendships. I had a massive thing in my head about friendships going into uni. Like things are going to be totally different. I'm going to meet way more people. I'm going to have like my friendship group that I've always dreamed of. I had that with friendships, but then with relationships as well. I was also like, oh my God, I'm going to meet this boy. I literally romanticized the hell out of like coming into uni, and I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I was definitely like, I set myself up for failure. And I'm making this video for anyone who's going to uni in the future or planning to go. Like do not build it up in your head to be this massive thing, because you'll be in for a shock. One thing I've realized after coming to uni and being on pretty much every dating app under the sun is uni is not the place to go looking for a relationship. It's just not. It's just simply not. The boys are first of all always looking for something casual. Do you know what I don't like? They never even say casual. They always are just like, oh well, I'm just like going with the flow. I'm just seeing where things go. Seeing where things go is their favorite phrase. That is always what they say on an app. It's just like, oh, I want to see where things go. I'll just go with the flow. Like, and that is just code word for casual, or like they don't want a relationship. They don't want something serious. I feel like there's a lot of like terms you need to learn before you get in the mix with all this. Otherwise, like you just won't know what you're getting yourself into. Like you might get into something that you think is going somewhere, but really on their end, they're just seeing where things go, which just means casual. And casual, by the way, is just like someone who literally does not want to be your boyfriend. They're literally just there to like have sex with you, and that is literally it. It's more like a friend with benefits, to be honest. I wish I could say this varies or changes depending on what year you're in at uni. Like, okay, in first year people aren't that serious, but it gets better as you go on. But I don't think it does. I think it's still pretty much the same as you go on in uni. Like, I think I have not met a person on an app, which is probably the issue. Like I'm meeting people on apps, but I think if you are going into uni looking for something, everyone's just looking for something casual, like first year, second year, on a placement year, they're a graduate, like maybe not the graduates, that's a bit different, but from year 1 to year 3, anyone who's like an undergrad, it's like all casual. It's like they're just like looking to go with the flow. They're not looking for anything serious. Like they don't want to be tied down, sort of thing. Do not let movies and TV shows, whatever you're watching on Netflix, do not let that like warp your perception of what you're going to get into. You might make yourself like unhappy and like just get into a whole load of personal issues if you're kind of like, what am I doing wrong? I'm not meeting the right people. Like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Like, how do I make my profile better? It's not you. It's just the boys at uni are not looking for anything serious. Like, you're kind of in the wrong environment, if you know what I mean. Like, if you're looking for something serious, which is totally fine, uni is just I just don't think it's the right place for it. You could argue even it depends on the city you go to. Like if you go to like, I mean, I'm in Newcastle, which is quite notoriously like a party city, and it's very social, but maybe it's different in like Cambridge, maybe it's different in Scotland, in Edinburgh, maybe it's different in like Huddersfield. I don't really know, but I think just uni in general is not the place if you're like, I think it's more girls that want something serious at a younger age. You probably won't see it in uni boys, that is for sure, especially uni boys at your age. Like I said a bit earlier, I think if you're going for more graduates, that's a bit different. Like some of my friends, when I've had combos with them and like we're talking about like boys and like what we look for in boys, they always tend to look at boys that are like young, like their age, around about their age. But I've noticed for myself, boys around about my age never really want the same things as me. Then on apps I would be like, okay, let me add on like a couple more years, like I'll add on an extra year or two in terms of what I'm looking for. And then they're always like, maybe 3-4 years actually, I'll be honest, and then they're like, oh my god, I could never go out with someone who was like 26. And I'm like, well, 26-year-olds are the only ones that like want to actually like have the title of boyfriend or girlfriend. Like anyone under 21, like they're allergic to that term. Like they do not want any sort of commitment. I feel like this video has turned into like a dating apps video, but I have tried Tinder, do not recommend that app, Bumble and Hinge. I don't think I've tried any other ones. Those are like the 3 main ones. Tried them all at different times. I wasn't on them all at the same time because that is, I mean, that's a full-time job. Each one has different sort of people on there, but then like I think the general vibe of each app has the same sort of guys. So what I mean by that basically is Hinge definitely has more older people on it. I don't think there's as many younger people on Hinge. For example, when I was on Hinge, I feel like I rarely ever came across another 21-year-old or another 22-year-old. That's so common on Tinder. Like there's so many 18, 19-year-olds on there. But then on Tinder, it's like they all just, they're not there for anything serious. It's very like casual, very like hookup culture sort of thing. But then Bumble has a bit of a mix of everyone, and Bumble, like, they look for different things. Like some of them, yeah, it's serious, but then some of them also it's casual. But then also the boys on Bumble, I've noticed, because it's an app where like the girl messages first, the boys on there aren't like, they don't like, there's not much initiative. Like sometimes obviously I'll always message first. I'll always say something like, I'll try and say something funny about their profile, but then like they don't like make an effort with the convo, I've noticed. I was not a fan of Bumble. I think Hinge was definitely my favourite one out of all of them. But weirdly enough, the nicest people I met were off Tinder. But then also each time I think I've tried to meet up with someone and like they've cancelled or like they've not shown up, which happened once, I think, that was from Tinder as well. Do you know what? They can be so addictive. I'm not gonna lie, they're so addictive. You'll download these apps and it is a bit of like a buzz. Like, you know, you get to talk to people and it's quite nice because you're meeting people outside your friendship groups and like you'll meet up with them and sometimes they're lovely people and you get along with them and it's like, oh, I've made a new friend, even if it doesn't go anywhere. You get all these like, you know, positive like emotions and stuff, but then it's like, it has highs and lows. I think that's what makes it addictive. Like you get these highs, meeting really cool people and like making friends. If you are getting into relationships with people, that would probably be a high, but then it starts to get low when it's like nothing ever goes anywhere. Like you're going on the app to get an outcome, like you want to get into a relationship, have a boyfriend, because I've never had a boyfriend in my whole entire life and I feel like I'm getting a bit old now. Like 22, never had a boyfriend. That's a bit old though. That is a bit old. It's giving pension. Like I just feel really old. And so anyway, I'm trying to get rid of that, but it's not going anywhere. So then I get these highs and lows on these apps because I'm like, I'm trying it, you know, things are going well and I'm meeting people, oh, he's cool, but okay, no. And then it's like, do you know what I mean? Like it's addictive. I'm normally on the apps for a few months at a time, meeting people, or then I'll ignore the app for a while, download it again, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm fed up now, I'll delete it, and then I'll get fed up again. Like, do you know what I mean? It's that cycle. I think that's the cycle that a lot of apps have. But right now, I've set myself the goal on my phone. I've not got any apps, and I've set myself the goal of to not have them for like the whole of 2023. So that is the current situation. I feel like if you're at uni as well, dating apps can be a go-to place sometimes, or like you accidentally fall into dating app if you try to make friends, because I know Bumble has that BFF thing. I think you can only meet girls on Bumble BFF, but then normal Bumble you can meet like who you're interested in, so whether it's male or female. Yeah, Bumble BFF is just girls, but yeah, I think you can fall into it as like a friendship thing, because I remember when I was really struggling with friends, I was on the apps for relationships purposes, but then I accidentally was like making friends, so I was like, oh my god, this is low-key turned into like a friendship app for me. All of the friendships that I have made on the apps, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not friends with any of those people now for different reasons. Like you just stop messaging people, like they stop replying, you stop replying, and then you're just not friends anymore. Do you know one of them ones? That has happened a lot. One thing I've realised after observing all my friends who are in relationships, or people who just have relationships at uni, and I'm like, how did you meet? Because I asked a million people that because I'm so nosy. I've discovered it's actually less of a serious thing. Like, I'm going to sit down or go on dates. Like, it's less serious. And it's literally just more of a laid back thing. Like, almost all the people that I know who've gotten boyfriends at uni, they just like meet through friends of friends, or it's a very laid back thing where they just casually like stumble across someone. Like, no one's ever told me like, oh yeah, they decided they were going to go on Hinge or Bumble or whatever and then meet someone and then it happened. Like, a couple of people have met on apps, but it's normally like you're not looking for it. So low key, I'm not gonna like, when I think back to all those boys that were like, I'm just seeing where things go, I'm just going with the flow, maybe that does have some sense to it. I remember one time, I think this was before my exams. This would have been like a couple months ago, 2 months ago maybe. I wasn't on any of the apps, but I was following this account on Instagram called NCL Dates. They're like a speed dating agency or whatever you'd call them, and they basically literally like do speed dates for people in Newcastle. They do a bunch of them for students, but then they also do some for like grown-ups who are like more serious. Like, their speed dating's literally got up to like 45, I think. So it's not just like a student thing, it's literally like a Newcastle speed dating thing. So I signed up to this speed dating thing like I think 3 weeks before my exam. Like, I had no business going on a bunch of dates, no business putting on my makeup and going out and being like, oh, let me get ready to meet some boys. Like, I had no business going out. Anyway, I remember on the thing, I met a bunch of people. Like, I met like 17, 18 boys there. I say boys, they were grown up. I remember the age bracket was like 21 to 29. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me going to that thing to realise how my mindset and my attitude was just completely off. And you obviously have to get along with them. Like, they do this thing at the end where you like put on a piece of paper like, oh, I like this person, and like depending on if they like you get their number. I literally was just like intentionally not ticking anyone because I was like scared of what the outcome could be. My thing was, even if I didn't have exams coming up, I would have been terrified to match with anyone. Like, I intentionally just did not put anyone down. And I think it took me doing that thing to realise, like, I'm just not even ready. Like, why am I making a fuss about this whole thing of me being 22 and being old? Like, and I need to hurry up. Like, you're not even ready for it. Like, you're literally in a situation where you could meet someone and you're not even like letting it happen, sort of thing. Another thing I've realised about in general dating at uni is it's more of like a friendship thing. Like, if you're going out on apps and stuff, on speed dating or anything like that, trying to meet someone, it's honestly like more of just like making friends and then seeing what happens after. Like, most people I know, I think I said earlier, they've just met people from like friends of friends, and it's honestly like, I think if you go out trying to make more friends, that will probably have a byproduct of like getting a boyfriend, getting a girlfriend, getting a whatever. Because I think at uni it's not really the app. The apps are definitely not the way to go. You'll get on them probably and just find that it's just like a very high and low thing. Like, you get some highs and then you're just like, I'm deleting this app, and then you'll download it again and then you want to delete it. And I'm in that delete phase, but I'm hoping it stays like that for a long time. Like, when I think back to when I was on the apps, like, what did I gain? Like, literally nothing. Like, gained nothing. I gained friends, then lost them. Went on a speed dating thing, was too scared to match with anyone. Like it, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even in the mindset yet. I'm not even ready. Anyway, what even was this video? It was meant to be talking about not even dating apps. It ended up making the whole video about dating apps. But hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see. Probably more videos on uni coming up on my end. Like, I've got some ideas of what I want to make, and it's definitely more like uni things I wish I knew videos. But let me know what you want to see. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.